Do you see that, brethren? I'm going to give you a harsh illustration. Imagine, and I've given this so many places, but it's so important. I want to communicate this truth to you. Imagine that a great king, is going to go on a long journey, and he calls you as the steward to care for his bride that he loves more than everything, more than his kingdom. And he gives you a list, a kingly decree. This is what you're supposed to do with my bride. This is it. You do not add to this list. You do not take away from this list. This is the list. And the king looks at you with fire in his eyes, because this is my bride. I use illustration that oftentimes I would go into red zones in different places in Peru where the terrorists were supposedly in control, or the military was kind of dangerous, or things were going on. And my wife would want to go with me, and I would say, no, you're not going. Why? They pull me off the bus, push me around, do all kinds of things with me. Been there, done that, got the t-shirt. No big deal. One of those men lay a finger on my bride. It changes everything. That's my bride. That's my bride. So I would tell her, I don't want to get you in trouble, and I don't want to get me killed. And if I, being evil, could love my wife so that I would fight men, what kind of passion does Christ have for his bride? And so listen, preacher, this applies to missionaries, applies to all of us. So this king, has always delighted in his bride. Oh, she's beautiful, but she's simple. No painted eyes. No need for rouge. A simple white, long, flowing, elegant dress that he gave her. And then he goes on a journey. But as he goes on that journey, he stays longer than everyone supposes. And you, as a wise steward, begin to realize that, well, the people are no longer interested in the king because they're no longer interested in his bride. She's old-fashioned. And so you drop a plan, and some of you have drawn up this plan. And some who will hear me through video have drawn up this plan. So you decide. You're going to change her dress. You're going to paint her face. You're going to restyle her hair. And you're going to march her before a bunch of carnal men like a prostitute in order to use her to draw them back to the king. And that's exactly what these church growth people are doing. This is exactly what's going on in America, and it's going on in the mission field, and it is wrong. And I want you to know on the day of judgment, do not fear for the atheist. Fear for the pastor and the missionary who decided that he must change the look of the bride of Christ in order to make her attractive to carnal men, to bring those carnal men back home. Fear, fear, fear. It should be a daily exercise. Oh, Lord, increase my fear of thee. You should look out from that pulpit at that bride of Christ that you're pastoring, that you're teaching, and realize these people, they belong to him. I will teach them only what the king has told me to teach. I will not add a word to it. I will not take a word away from it. I will treat her as she ought to be treated. I will obey the commands. And I will do so trembling. Know that if I have done it, and I have submitted to his decrees, I have done nothing special. I have only obeyed as I should have.